the different character trends in the ladies. Why? Because there are things that we have traditionally decided to abolish, and now ladies are moving forward, wearing different jumpsuits, wearing different wigs, and definitely calling the shots in a different way. And this evening, together with me on this podium are 4 ladies. One is on her way, and the one amazing thing about all these ladies is they came from the same high school. And we have Lucy Mngoli. She says if I add one vowel to that name, it changes it totally to Mongolia, which is something totally different. And then we have Anne Mahero. Hi. And then you have Nelly Roby. I'm so excited to have you guys. And Lily Mainge is on her way. Thank you guys for coming. I'm going to give you guys each a second to say something about the current trends in general, and then again we have lost Mzee Moi, so we are mourning. So you also need to have a chance, because I know we share that period of time when Moi was the president. We share something, right? I'll start with you, Lucy. A complete introduction first of yourself.
Okay, my name is Lucy. I am a client relations executive. Probably a 21st century woman.
Definitely. Yes.
Like you have said, an ex-Bomerian. By those who do not know, ex-Bomerian means I went to Kenya High School.
I know. The national school people, yeah. Go easy on that, step on it easily.
Oh yeah,
Capital T.
Yeah, and I'm happy to be here. Yes, I like the women we have become now in the 21st century as compared to the previous generation, because we are more powerful, and we're making changes beyond what anybody else could have imagined before right now, right?
So we have the power. I want to say something about Mzee Moi. I mean,
I'm going to say something about. I wanted to say that first, and then get it out of the way, and then Mzee Moi. Well, I appreciate his maziwa ya Nyayo, definitely. I missed that stuff.
Okay.
It was fantastic. He did quite a lot as a president. As much as people say he was a dictator, blah blah blah. But he did quite a lot for
maybe we
our
were too
country.
young to see the dictatorship.
Maybe probably.
We're going to leave it for them for now.
Personally, we enjoyed the milk. That was fantastic.
All right.
Yes.
Anne Mahero, a complete introduction of yourself, what you do. Are you a 21st century woman? What does that make you? And do you have anything to say about Mzee Moi?
Yeah, I'm Anne Mahero. I'm a nurse by profession. I'm in research. What can I say? I do definitely believe I'm a 21st century woman. Have you seen my hair? Topic for another day. But yes, I believe my place in life right now, in a way, does for me summarize who a 21st century woman is in my mind, given my life experiences and what makes probably my 21st century current experience different from maybe what life my mom lived when she was my age.
Yes.
Yeah. And Mzee Moi, I'll say one thing about Mzee Moi. Now, when we were little, Mzee Moi lived in Kabarak. His his home in Kabarak. So Kabarak is, while on the way, there's the hospital in Nakuru, PGH. So my mother was a nurse. Well, she's a retired nurse. So most nurses live around the hospital. So of course, Moi would be passing by there. So the thing was, in those days when we were little, you stand by the roadside and you wave. Nothing. So,
it doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. You just stand there, you wave your finger, he stops, he'd give you candy, he'd give you 20 bob. It was just nice. It was that's what I do remember about him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Isn't that the definition of dictatorship?
Well, it worked for us.
It did. It saved us trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, Nelly.
So I'm Nelly Roby. I am a caterer, I'm a chef, I'm a YouTuber, and I also teach cake decorating. Yeah. For me, I think we are more vocal as women in this century. We are not timid. And I think there's a very thin line between being vocal and not being submissive, as we are called these days. Yeah. So, but I'm very happy to be in this century and to see what women can do and what women have been able to accomplish so far. Yeah, it's a good time to be a woman. About Mzee Moi, unlike Anne, there's a time, the only memory I have of Moi was the time we waited for him. He was to come. I was in Kawa Barracks then. And we waited outside the sun with those paper flags. And he just whizzed past us and didn't even stop. I was so heartbroken.
So waiting for hours under the sun.
Yeah. So yeah, the milk definitely was really good.
Yeah, it probably consoled you guys. So I have strips of papers here that I just want to pass to each and every one of us, and they have suggestions of what character trends we have adopted, and we're going to have to look at them and see, is it right or is it wrong, and is it progressive or is it not progressive? So just pass this to Anne. I haven't looked and chosen what I'm giving you. I'm just giving you. Well, I need to put this back on, and then this. Kawa Barracks falls on you. So we're going to discuss this, and then again. So just coincidentally, and then this is for you, and this is for you. We have to save some for Lillian. Oh yes, so I'm going to hold on to this for now. All right. So before we even look at them, because I know you're looking at all of them, wondering what are you going to say about them? There is this. I don't know if it's a fallacy. I don't know if it's a myth or whatever it is, that ex-Boomerians don't get married. That apparently there's a higher percentage of unmarried ex-Boomerians than the married ex-Boomerians. First of all, how true is this, Lucy?
Well.
Well.
Yeah, well.
Yes.
Yes. I don't think it's a true thing. I think what people look at ex-Boomerians as is that we are career women. We go for the career and then now we think of family after. Some of us, however, went into family and then career. You get it? So it's not really true. It's just that our priorities are different.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
A bigger percentage of your priority.
Yeah.
You have to realize I'm going to distance myself from this for today. That one.
Hey, come on.
Just for today. And Mahero, how true is it? Is it a fact?
I don't think it's about us not, wanting to get married. Just as Lucy says, I think most of us, given the culture that Boma instilled in us, you can be whatever you want to be. You want to be. The world is out there. Go for it. So I think we like to try and, as much as possible, live out our potential before we decide to settle down and have family.
So something like marriage feels like it's going to cage you, and you will not find time and space to be what you want.
Not necessarily. What I think of it how I think of it is it's part of an ingredient of the larger recipe of the woman I do want to become. But it doesn't mean that if I don't get it right now, I still can't achieve my goals and get to where I want to.
It is like the secondary priority.
Yes. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, what a coincidence. So that happens to almost all of us. Nelly, how true is this for you?
I don't think it's a Boomerian thing. I think it's the woman right now. You see, for a very long time, our mothers, we were always brought up with the end goal is to get married. After you get married, you can actually hear yourself.
You are saving everything for marriage.
Yeah, but now we are thinking about other things. We are thinking about changing the world and getting into jobs that weren't easily accessible to women before. So I don't think it's an Boomerian thing.
It's a 21st century woman thing. So that's one of the traditions that we are dropping. All right, we're going to look at it there. So I'll start with me because I'm right at the center. And the first paper that I have that's on top is written, Muslims dropped virginity declaration on marriage certificate. Now this is a fact. We don't have to debate about it because it was actually put in the papers. Oh yes, before this time, on their marriage certificate, the woman had to declare whether she was a virgin or not. And now that has been removed. So she doesn't have to declare if she's a virgin or not. There are two ways people are looking at this. Some are saying that, hello, this means that we are now degrading, that we are not taking care of morals anymore. Another person says, no, that was actually abusive of the woman and her privacy. This should not be in the public domain. I don't know what you guys think. And what do you think?
I think it's really invasive because in as much as I'm not a Muslim myself. I don't know much about the Muslim culture in terms of marriage and relationships before marriage. But I'd like to think if somebody being a virgin is something that needs to be put out there for me to get married, then we should probably make up a list of your sins as well, Mr. the groom. Yes, let's not have double standards. If you're doing it for me, let's do it for you as well.
All right. Okay. I have something to say about that, but I'll hold it on. Nearly.
I'm just wondering, was it only the woman that was meant to declare her?
Oh, yes.
Right.
Double standards match.
Why because
it's about morality.
I'm actually thinking it's because morality is actually the woman is a host of morality in the society. somehow it has been for ages. Because maybe we carry life and we literally nurture life in the children. That's just what I think.
You do have a point. You do have a point.
You do have a point, yes. It sounds fantastic, yes. However, what are we teaching our boys? I mean, like, honestly, what are we teaching? Because you see, when you say the woman is a, what did you just call it?
She's a host. She's a host of morality. Like, morality lies with her.
It does, yes. However, who am I marrying then? Honestly, think about it. Who am I marrying then? Because if that guy is supposed to be whoever he wants to be with, he's supposed to do whatever he wants to do, and then come to me, the morally upright chick, and marry me. He's going to bring all his stuff into my.
But if he never found a woman to do anything weird with, he will be moral when he comes.
Exactly.
To you.
Look at it this way. Look at it this way. The woman being there's actually a quote somewhere. The level of civilization of any society is dependent on the level of the level at which its women are valued. Look at it this way. If the woman is the standard of morality, then this man has to be worthy of
the
my
woman.
being.
Exactly.
Yes.
So he
I
will
am
have
the
to
standard.
take care
so
of
if you
himself.
cannot meet my standards,
Yes.
Step.
Oh yes.
Real quick.
Nelly, are we on the same?
Yes, we're in the same track. But this one, you said if they don't get other women to
mess around with.
So is it a lack of opportunity, or is it then about them being morally upright as well?
I think we're just going to assume that men are not as strong as they should be.
let's not assume. Let's just say
that they are.
Okay, and that is because we do not want to say that they're not as upright as women are. We are trying to be modest here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we give them too much leeway. Like, he's just a man.
He's a dude. No, what I would say,
Yes.
what I would say is, it depends on the nurturing, because us women are nurturers. So if it is my responsibility as a woman to nurture this man into a man of worth, a man of substance, so that when they go out there and find this pillar of, let's call it pillar of,
Of morality. the host of
The
morality.
host of morality.
Yes.
They will find a woman who they can actually relate to, because I have nurtured this boy to understand that this is the value and the standards
All
that
right.
he's supposed to live to.
And now that we are all here, then removing the declaration that a woman is a virgin or not from the certificate, is it a plus or a minus for morality?
it's a minus for me.
It's a plus, minus.
Can I be in the middle? It depends with how you look at it. It's invasive that you have to declare your morality, and your husband doesn't have to, the husband to be. But also removing that part also means that now
We are okay with you not being a virgin when you get married.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a negative, it's a plus, it's in between. All right. Then now let's begin with you, Lucy. What is the paper on top?
She can speak up against marital rape and emotional abuse.
Okay, this was the foundation of that. That we had a century that women were supposed to put up with the emotional abuse. It was not a reason for you to speak out or speak against your union, You were supposed to endure it. But then the current woman we have, she sees a small sign of that and she's not okay with it. And if nothing changes, she's quitting. She's quitting. And then now we have high rates of quitters everywhere. I don't know. Lucy, do you want to say something about it?
Yeah, I absolutely want to say something about it. You see, it's not that we have a higher rate of quitters. I will correct you on that. It's that we have a higher, how do I put it? Like we are more knowledgeable about our own personal mental health and how it affects the people around us. It usually says whatever you give out comes from within. So if this person has issues and they emotionally abuse you, and then they fill you up with that emotional abuse, and then you pour it out onto the children. Toxicity, yes. So you can imagine you filling up these children with toxicity, then they're going to grow up being toxic people, then they're going to spread it. So how many generations of toxic people is that? Now, as a woman, as a nurturer, you walk away to break that cycle.
Okay.
You get.
But
That's
our
my
mothers
opinion.
say that we need to put up with it. They say that men are toxic, that naturally men are toxic. And
I don't think they naturally are toxic. Just as Lucy says, it does have some element of nurturing in it. There's a book by T.D. Jakes, it's called Emotions. It's basically, well, in my understanding, a sneak preview into a man's mind. See, men, just like for us ladies, a woman is made in the midst of women. What do I mean by that? We are sitting here, so there are things that we can relate to from our different experiences. So there's things that I can say, that Lucy can say, you can say, Nelly can say, that you can say, yeah, by the way, that is actually a thing, or this is wrong. This is, you see, we get standards from that. So in the same way, that comes from men. So if this man has been nurtured in the love and the light of both the mother and the father, whereby unfortunately you find that the man wasn't as hands-on to tell him, okay, you're a man, fine, boys fall down, they are strong, they don't cry. That's one example. Or even as much as your man, you did this and this to your sister, go and apologize, go say you're sorry. Your mom has come with shopping, go and pick her bags. You see, those are things that they pick.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's something that we should just naturally assume is in the nature of men. I think it comes from their brain, because on the flip side, not all men are like that.
So but it looks like that there are many men who are like that, because very many women are complaining. I have done this online at some point, and the response was massive. Very many women who are in unions actually saying they're not comfortable. Men are chauvinistic, men are misogynist. They don't care about your feelings as a woman. They don't think you're worth anything as a woman, you know. So it feels like then that's how most of them are.
I think it's the upbringing. I think it's the generation that brought this generation of men up.
The men we are meeting now.
Yeah. Because probably most of our fathers were the kind of, what I say is what goes.
That's the rule.
There's no sitting down with my wife and I hear your opinion. It's what I say goes. So they brought up this generation of men who also believe the same thing, and now they found us women who do not also want to bring our empowered ideas on the table. So we end up with this conflict. But I think it's more to do with the upbringing.
All right. So then this is going to be a generational conflict.
True.
As it looks. All right. And what do you have?
My first strip of paper says, she does not primarily value marriage. There we go again. So yeah, I don't particularly agree with this. I think, as we had mentioned in the first round of introductions, it's not that, okay, let me speak for myself. It's not that I don't I don't have value for marriage. It's just that it will come in its own time. But meanwhile, as I am waiting for it, I have things to do. I have potential to live out. I have dreams to, bring into fruition, into manifestation. So I can't just sit there and say, wacha niolewe kwanza, halafu nitanunua V8. I'm going to work and get that V8 first.
That man will find you the V8.
If he comes and meets me in the showroom, well and good.
You say hello to each other at the showroom.
No, this is what I think, and that was the foundation of that. And you have a point that now the generation of men we are meeting are the men that hope that we will somehow still look up to them, but then they meet us at the showroom buying the V8s.
Exactly.
And then now they don't know how to approach us. And then plus our mothers, they were taught how to clean for the sake of marriage, how to cook for the sake of marriage, how to be smart for the sake of marriage. But as guys, we were taught how to be smart for ourselves. So is there value for marriage still in what we are?
There is. I think if we couple our experiences and what we have seen our mothers go through, it makes us even stronger at the point of making an informed decision. Because I look at it and see, this is what I want for myself, but this is what maybe my mother, my aunties, or other women that have come before me have gone through. So I think I'm in a better position to say, okay, I want this one out, this one next, this goes in my basket, this one into the dustbin.
Oh yeah, the ones that went into the dustbin are probably the men who wanted to marry.
Nelly. There definitely is still value for marriage. I personally would still like to be married. It's just that I think over time, as I grew up, I have been trying to tear down all these things that we were told, do this so that, like my mother sometimes would tell me, how'd kupika ugali? Utaniaibisha ukiolewa. So those things get into your head, and everything that you're doing because you have this end goal of getting married
and being the right woman.
Fine. After you get married, then what? Life doesn't end. You still have to have a career. You still have to take care of your kids, if any. So I don't know why they made this marriage as this end. This is They're coming back of Jesus.
Let me tell you guys what our mouths are saying and what our body language is saying is something very different. Because Nelly's like, they made this marriage the end. You know, like that is the body language. This marriage, that's the body language. Do we value marriage?
Personally, I'm very, very pro marriage.
Okay.
Very, very pro marriage. Because at the end of the day, when you get a life partner, you get to do more. Two are better than one. Yeah, that's what the good book says. So, you know, two are always better than one. And I'm very pro marriage. It depends on who you find, okay? And then at the end of the day, I'm very glad I have older friends who have taught me that you don't go into a marriage in order to please somebody by doing something, like by being a slave. I'm sorry to use that word. You go into marriage, do things that make you happy.
Satisfaction. So that is where my problem comes in. Then who are we going to marry? Because we just had a conversation here that the men that we are meeting in this generation are the ones who are nurtured by fathers who told them that men are supposed to be on top of the women. And then here we are looking for a partnership. Who are we going to marry?
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
You see, us women right here, seated right here, I am sure there's one time your mother told you, ujui hata kuosha vyombo. Huyo bwanako utamfanyia nini?
Utachapwa urudishwe hapa.
Kwangu. And you see, we ended up, we didn't fall into that pitfall. We went and read books, we went and spoke to other people, we went and searched for knowledge when it comes to marriage, so that you understand that when you're going to find a man, you find a man who's 100% and you are 100%, then you become a teammate.
But are they ready for that?
They need to be.
But need to be is different.
Oh.
It's like we know we need to have hospitals and doctors in this country, and we need to stop whatever traveling from China to Kenya or between China and Kenya because of coronavirus. Need to be and happening. Those are two different realities.
So is there a man that can marry this woman who is 100% looking for 100%?
Yeah,
How many are there? I think for a very long time the woman was empowered, and the man was forgotten. So we're bringing up this woman, but we forgot that we also need to bring up this man so that they meet at the middle. But there are men who are ready for that.
The final nail on this, is this the reason we have baby mamas, baby daddies? Because we end up, we still want to need each other, but then we realize we cannot coexist. We're on different pages.
As a baby mama.
And Victor is a baby daddy looking on from there. Yes.
As a baby mama, I think we were on two different pages. So it gets to a point where you think that you've gotten to that point where you guys should settle down, and this other person is not on that page, and you just can't keep dragging someone. You can't change someone. So you leave.
I think I relate to that, but now on a different level. Go and get me water. I want to send you to the shop. Where are my socks? And you're thinking, why am I the one to find your socks? Why do I need to fetch for you water? You know? So, such things. All right, we can't do this forever.
It won't end.
Nelly.
Okay. Women are venturing into military, science, and technology competitively, and not limited to safe opportunities. That's it.
There's a fact, is this backward or forward for us? Home science was something that was reserved for women, teaching courses, things that could keep them at home. But now we have women going to the moon and to Mars, and we have them underwater digging and researching, and then we're wondering who is conceiving children.
But who said you can't do that and still conceive?
At what time? I mean, the reality. Just speak of it as a reality.
Take a break. I mean, conceiving a child is just 9 months plus 3. Okay,
and
then it's like a whole year.
And
then you can continue.
But then who takes care of the child?
Is that you can make a timetable? Save bills, not yet a mom, but
What are you thinking? A timetable between you and the father?
I think what I'm trying to say is there's a way. Yes, that's one thing between you and the father. Because see, the two of you are the parents, right? So I think the two of you should come to an agreement as to how this is going to all come together for the good of the two of you and the child.
But and that simply means that we have to change the rules. And changing the rules means that the whole world has to sit down.
Yes.
Because these are global rules. They're not just African rules.
They should have sat down like a whole decade ago. Because, okay, being a mother of two,
Yes.
I would love for my daughter to express herself in like the wildest forms she can ever think. As it is, she loves to pick up a fake mic and sing.
Yeah.
Now that's a girl who's going to be a musician. Yeah? I am not going to limit her. And I'm not going to be dictatorship.
Oh, yes, yes.
But there is no man who's going to stop her. I'm sorry. She needs to go all the way. If
Yes.
she wants to become whatever she wants to become, I need to show her by example.
Yes.
There's no more I'll beat you into being. I mean, nowadays you beat up that kid into being, she's going to rebel. He's going to rebel. So I'm going to lead by example. I am working, Mama. You can see I wake up in the morning, I go to work, I come back. At the end of the month, I have a salary. Now, Mama, if you wipe the table, I'm going to give you 50 bob, for example. And she's like, oh, so that's what work is. And she gets an example from me. So I am not going to condemn that, and it's not a bad thing, but they need to have sat down and realized that this was something that was
Well,
happening.
you guys realize we're talking about they and without knowing exactly who we are talking to.
I know, right?
This is a major question for me within this context, that women venturing into science and technology and military simply means that now they can go off to war and there can be doctors in the hospital for 48-hour shift to 72-hour shift. They can be pilots in the air for a week or two before they come back home. Naturally, when we're talking about attempt to earn, can a father really take care of a child the way a mother can? Would it be a responsibility you want to put on a man? Victor, you need a mic. Yeah.
I don't think we can appropriately compare a mother's nurturing capabilities to a man's capability of raising a child. But I think there needs to be that conversation that Lucy is saying should have been had about decades ago in terms of we've decided let's get together and make a family. These are our children. It's not that this is our child, but when there are issues, they say it becomes your child, it's my child again. The child shouldn't be that tennis ball being tossed back and forth. So because we have decided to make a family, let's sit down and find a way to make this work. I honestly think
that way is actually the reason why we are here.
Yes.
Because we need a solution for it, and we are the bearers of the solutions. What way are we talking about? I mean, do you take a year off, or 2 years off, or 3 years off? As a mother, how are you exactly thinking this would work if we are to get in deeper?
Having given birth twice, I can tell you for a fact, okay? Doesn't matter how much leave you give a woman who's just given birth, it is exhausting. Very, very exhausting. Because number one, you're breastfeeding, so you're constantly hungry. Your area is painful.
Yes.
I don't know if it's correct to say
Area, we get it.
Yeah,
We understand.
painful
Perfectly well.
throughout.
Yes.
And you are constantly stressed because if this kid cries, you're in pain. And then there's the C-section that some people have to go through. Like now, me, I went through it twice. So you can imagine the exhaustion that comes from the 9 months of carrying that baby. Then the delivery period of it, that's like a usually nearly death experience. And then, after that, you have to wake up every 2 hours to feed that baby. Night or day, they don't care.
Yes.
So the exhaustion is extreme. Doesn't matter how much leave you take, a baby is a full
So can we get in deeper into science, technology, and all the careers pertaining to that, and still be able to be mothers?
Yes, we can if we get partners who are able to partner with us in doing this.
So we are hoping that men can turn into nurturers as well.
Yes.
But they
There
don't
are actually
have.
men who are
natural.
natural.
But naturally, do they have the instincts? You know the way you can be deep asleep and your baby is awake and you wake up instinctively. Do men have such capacities? I don't think God created it in them.
they may not have them, but I think this is we're saying nature and nurture.
Yeah. How you nurture.
Biology, adaptation.
They better learn. You mean? Thank you. They better learn. There is a bottom line. They better learn. Okay, let's take your second strip.
So she is chasing after education and ambitions, and child rearing is secondary.
I think we took it into this.
Yes.
Yeah, we took it into this,
Yes.
absolutely. And
Okay, she is powerful, confident, and opinionated. She speaks her mind. She does not silently take instructions anymore. Very true.
oh yes,
Very true. Very true. I do agree that right now the modern woman is more assertive. She feels more confident about speaking her mind and saying, for example, giving her own opinion on certain things, especially things that are pertaining to issues that affect her. For example, things like health, education. We are having these conversations whereby, as Nelly had said, we live in the 21st century where we have come through the 20th century where the woman, the girl child was empowered, but it had to take the voice of a woman out there to say, our girls are being left behind. The society is lagging behind because the woman is being left behind. So yeah, I think right now, compared to our mother's time, we are doing a lot to, get out there and put things out there and speak boldly and say, this is what I think because ABCD.
All right. Nelly, if you agree with that, is it a plus or a minus? Is it progressive? Is it retrogressive?
It's a plus. I'm where I am because I refused for anyone to tell me what to do as my career choice. And it got to a point where my dad was like, you're very stubborn. But you see, I can't do something just because I've been told do it and I do not agree with it. Yeah, so it's a plus. Yeah.
It's a plus for you.
Yeah.
All right. Lily Maingi is inside the room. And says, could you please just show Lily into the set because we have just a few minutes. Lily, karibu sana. We understand that maybe you don't get the matrix of and the vectors of Nairobi, but karibu and Polly for the traffic. How are you? Happy New Year. Oh yes, you owe all of us. You owe all of us.
Sorry.
Oh yes.
Oh God, are my eyes wet?
No. Whatever you packed your car. Okay, we don't have so much time. We have strips here. These ones are yours. You might not get time to go through all of them, but you just take two. But Anne has just told us something, that the current woman is opinionated. She's confident. She doesn't allow herself to be told what to do. And we are talking about character traits that we have adopted and what we have left behind. Do you think that that is true?
Yes, more and more women these days are just bold and out there, trying to, voice their word, say whatever it is that they feel. Gone are those days where, you cower around, you go around the bush, don't really express yourself. We're becoming more independent in our thoughts, in our actions, in what we do. We're not trying to get suppressed anymore, So across the board, family-wise, workplaces, legal front, anywhere right now,
We have our voice.
Yes.
And Nelly says that she wouldn't be where she is if she didn't take up that opportunity to tell whatever she wanted and actually make that choice. But now this is where the problem comes in, Lucy. When our mothers sat down, our grandmothers sat down when they were serving our grandfathers drinks and food. Do you remember that? In Uganda right now, women literally bend, and men love it. They love it, And this is the point where I say, I can't do that. And the man looks at you and he's shocked. He cannot believe that you can speak up to him like that. Is this now because we are going around? Is this working for the setup of family, sort of? Is it working? What we have become opinionated.
You see, there is a difference between having your voice and submission. They're two different things, and people don't get submission. Submission for a woman comes naturally when she's loved right. That's the part that people don't get. Submission comes when you're loved right. Now, you do not have to force me to kneel down to you, and yet you're treating me like, like you're the monster in the house, basically. How am I supposed to bow down to a monster? You're going to kill me, okay? So it needs to come from a point of love. If you love me, I will automatically do everything you want me to do. I will even kneel down and serve you the food. Oh, yeah? Because it's something I want to do. It's come from me.
Okay, we're just going to ask, what do you want so that we know that you're loved, or that so that you're loved well? Nelly,
I think supporting me.
Okay.
Respecting me. Being faithful and honest with me. Yeah. If you love me right, send me for
does it have anything to do with cuddling? Right. Does it have anything to do with cuddling and all that? No, not really.
You're not really loving
you're
not supporting me.
Okay. That was on a very light note. I was running out quite fast. What do you have on your strip?
Women have stronger purchasing power. Luxury brands target women.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Like Bahira said in the beginning, if she meets the guy buying her V8,
yes, I mean,
gone are the days my mother would never imagine going to buy a car. Yeah, not like right now the way we are. We're thinking of cars and houses. Women are buying houses even before getting married. Yeah, because they have their own careers and money.
And isn't this what probably is holding men back from getting these women and making them wives? And I'm using very layman's language here because maybe they expect submission in another way. We already came into a conclusion that we are different in the way we think. We are empowered, and the men who were raised in this generation were raised by fathers who were somehow misogynist in some way. Yes, and Anne says how she might meet her man buying her own V8 and all that because now we have a better purchasing power. And in your opinion, do you think this is going to not work for a family setup? When you have a better purchasing power and you are not depending on a man to be the provider or looking up to him to be the security financially?
I think it's a plus for the man because if I have purchasing power, that is one of the things that I'm bringing to the table. I'm bringing to this union that's supposed to. We're being like Lucy was saying, I'm 100%, he's 100%. Then,
but is that what they want? Can they tolerate that? Yes, Lily.
You know, I feel we have different types of men.
Yeah.
And there are those who will feel intimidated by that move, and there are those who will feel that they actually need now to further empower the woman who has the purchasing power. And I think it doesn't really change anything. It just sets you up for the right person. Because the one who appreciates you and what you do and your purchasing power will not feel intimidated. In fact, you find that the ones who support women who are empowered and have the purchasing power, that family flourishes.
All right, it's a blessed family. Yes. So now, apparently, because today is a special day for our country, we have lost Mzee Moi. We only have 3 minutes to conclude. But if you turn the back of your paper, there is a name. Just choose one between the two. Lily, do you have a name?
Yes.
You have a name? You have a name? Okay, choose this one between the two. And you give 3 words that will be a good clue to who you're talking about. That will give a good clue. Just 3 words. All right. So, for instance, I have Angela Merkel. I have already said it. So, yeah, that's good. So, you get to get it. If I was to give you clues for Angela Merkel, I would talk about Brexit. First woman to be elected for Brexit, something like that, and it gives you the clue, right? Okay. So, Anne, clues without mentioning the person and see if you can guess.
The person. Philanthropic, famous. That's a bit obvious. Third word. Let's see. Philanthropic, famous, eloquent. She's an eloquent speaker.
Do we have?
Could it be Oprah?
Oh yeah,
Great! I thought that was a very wide net.
Extremely. Very. All right, Lily, what do you have?
Sports enthusiast. She has a twin. I think that's enough.
Okay.
You guys can.
Any clue? Any clue?
Yeah. Could be Serena or Venus Williams.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. So great.
Present after
And
this.
I think we should. What do you have, Lucy?
She stood up for her man despite everything he did, and he was a huge figurehead.
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice. Okay, Lily. Just choose one.
Okay. She's opinionated. She empowers women. She was a prominent figure in the US. One of the most fought ladies for a period of 10 years, 8 years. And a black.
Okay. This is not going to be easy.
If I say the next thing, it will be very obvious.
Okay, could you just try? Let me show.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much. We may need another session to actually accomplish this. Don't worry, Lillian. We're going to have another session together. This is Raining Women, and we're going to reign till the end. Thank you very much, Lily Wenga. She is a photographer. And where can we find you if you want nice photography?
State House Street.
All right.
Yeah, Hillcrest Park.
Hillcrest Park. And it's still called Black Swan?
Black Sun Media.
All right, Black Swan Media. All right, Lily Mengi, professional photography, and she owes us an explanation why she's late and if Bomerians get married or not. Lucy, you said it's client.
Yeah, client relations executive.
Executive. What does that have deal with?
Basically, I'm in real estate.
Okay.
So, if you happen to know Val Real Estate, that's where I work.
Okay.
Anything to do with suits, anything to do with purchase of properties, and women, can you buy houses?
Yes, purchasing power. Purchasing power.
Yeah, so the purchasing power should move over this side. Talk to me, I can get you.
All right. And then you have Nelly Roby. She's been a chef here in our studio before. Where do we find you? What are you known for?
You can find me on Facebook, Nelly's Kitchen, on Instagram, Nelly's Kitchen KE, on YouTube, Nelly's Kitchen.
All right. Yes. And you can catch her for all the events. Yes. I'm not so sure if Anne wants to advertise herself, but we'll ask anyway.
Given the platform, I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a nurse. I work in HIV and TB research.
Okay.
So mostly that's for programs that empower women to just give them a better quality of life.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You all made the show really beautiful. We're going to have another session and accomplish this, what we started. Thank you very much. Nam, it has been a very different session, being that this is the first time we're actually doing this in English after a while. And I'm sure my tongue is very much tempted to go the other way. But thank you so much for choosing TV47 and for tuning in to Raining Women with me, Corazon Stefan. We will be doing this every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Continue sending your messages in. 22047 is the SMS line. And we continue this conversation online at TV47KE on Twitter and on Facebook. I do wish you a very good evening till tomorrow morning, where you make me on TV47 breakfast. And believe me, we will be doing more Kiswahili than anything else. Good night.